Was another state judge. The federal authorities showed up to arrest an illegal migrant that had a hearing at the courthouse before her. She didn't let the federal authorities know where he was or even try to say, hey, let me do my proceedings. She hid him in the jury chamber, according to the sources.
3:47 a.m., Minneapolis, Minnesota. The city sleeps under a blanket of January frost. Streetlights flicker over empty downtown blocks. Inside the Federal Command Center on Washington Avenue, 37 agents have been awake for 19 hours straight. They are about to execute the most explosive judicial corruption raid in Minnesota history. Operation Broken Trust is a go. No one sees the convoys leave the garage. No sirens. No lights. Just the low hum of armored engines cutting through the pre-dawn darkness. Target acquired. Judge Layla Mahed, Federal District Court. 3rd floor, northwest corner office. For 11 months, forensic accountants at the Department of Justice had been tracking something impossible. A federal judge earning $217,000 annually was living like a Fortune 500 CEO. Private jets to Dubai. Luxury condos in 3 states. A $4.2 million yacht docked in Miami. The math didn't add up, but the evidence did. If you want the full truth about how corruption infiltrated the highest levels of American justice, hit like so this story reaches every corner of this country. The battering ram strikes the reinforced mahogany door at exactly 4:03 a.m. The sound echoes through the marble hallways like a gunshot. Federal agents. Search warrant. Hands where we can see them. Judge Mahed is found standing behind her desk. Heels on. Makeup perfect. A crystal tumbler of bourbon still warm in her hand. She had been waiting. The office is a monument to American justice. Framed law degrees from Yale. Photos with 3 presidents. A bronze statue of Lady Justice on the bookshelf. But behind the patriotic facade, agents find something else entirely. A false panel behind the bookcase. A biometric scanner hidden beneath the American flag. When the safe clicks open, the room goes silent. Inside, they find $680,000 in cash, bundled in vacuum-sealed bags. 20s, 50s, 100s, all unmarked. But the cash is nothing compared to what sits beside it. A black external hard drive containing 14,000 encrypted files. Bank statements from the Cayman Islands showing deposits totaling $19.7 million. Photographs of Judge Mahed dining with known human traffickers in Mogadishu. And a handwritten ledger listing names, dates, and prices. This wasn't a judge taking bribes. This was a judge running an empire. The investigation began 13 months earlier with a single anomaly. Special Agent Marcus Delgado of the FBI Financial Crimes Unit noticed something strange in routine court filings. Immigration cases in Judge Mahed's courtroom were being processed at triple the normal speed. Asylum applications that typically took 18 months were approved in 11 days. Deportation orders that should have been automatic were dismissed on obscure technicalities. Criminals with violent records were walking free with a signature and a smile. Delgado ran the numbers through the Bureau's predictive algorithms. The results were statistically impossible. Judge Mahed's approval rate for Somali nationals was 97%. The national average was 34%. Either she was the most compassionate judge in America, or she was being paid to approve specific cases. Delgado suspected the latter. A forensic dive into her financial records revealed the blueprint of a criminal conspiracy so vast it stretched across 4 continents. Shell companies in Delaware. Offshore accounts in Panama. Wire transfers routed through Dubai, Nairobi, and Istanbul. Every approved immigration case corresponded to a deposit. The amounts varied. $15,000 for asylum approval, $40,000 for visa fraud dismissal, $125,000 for citizenship fast-tracking. But the most disturbing discovery was the pattern beneath the pattern. Judge Mahed wasn't just approving random immigrants. She was approving members of Al-Shabaab-linked networks. Known extremists. Individuals flagged by Homeland Security. People who should never have entered the United States. And she was doing it for money. Comment exposed below if you believe corruption like this should carry the maximum penalty. The FBI opened Operation Broken Trust on February 14, 2025. The task force included 68 agents from 6 agencies: FBI, ICE, DHS, ATF, IRS, U.S. Marshals. Their mission was simple: build an airtight case. No leaks, no mistakes, no mercy. Surveillance teams tracked Judge Mahed's movements 24 hours a day. Her home in Edina, her lake house in Brainerd, her condo in Miami. Agents documented every phone call, every email, every wire transfer. What they found was a woman living 2 lives. By day, she sat on the federal bench dispensing justice with a calm, authoritative voice. She lectured lawyers on constitutional integrity. She sentenced criminals to decades in prison. She posed for photos with local schools and community leaders. By night, she was someone else entirely. Encrypted calls to Mogadishu at 2 a.m. Private flights to Nairobi booked under fake names. Meetings in luxury hotels with men the FBI identified as high-level human trafficking coordinators. Judge Mahad had turned her courtroom into an express lane for criminal enterprises. And she was getting rich doing it. But the deeper agents dug, the more horrifying the scope became. This wasn't just immigration fraud. It was a pipeline. Individuals Judge Mahad approved weren't just settling into quiet lives in Minnesota. They were disappearing into networks, spreading across the country, working for trafficking rings, drug cartels, terror cells. One name in her ledger was linked to a fentanyl distribution ring in Detroit. Another was connected to a child exploitation network in Phoenix. A third was flagged in a domestic terrorism investigation in Seattle. Judge Mahad had weaponized the American legal system, and for 7 years, no one had noticed. The order to execute the raid came at 9:32 p.m. on March 28, 2026. Deputy Director Sarah Colton of the FBI delivered the authorization personally. Green light. All units. Full tactical deployment. The plan was precise. 3 simultaneous strikes. Alpha Team would breach Judge Mahad's downtown office. Bravo Team would hit her Edina residence. Charlie Team would secure her lake house in Brainerd. Timing was everything. If she had even 60 seconds of warning, evidence could vanish. Drives could be wiped. Documents could be shredded. The raids had to be perfect. At 3:47 a.m., the convoys rolled out. If this shocks you, hit like now. This story is just beginning. The office breach is textbook. Agents sweep the reception area in 11 seconds. The conference room is cleared. The file storage room is locked down. Judge Mahad is escorted to a chair. Her hands are cuffed behind her back. She says nothing. Her eyes are cold, calculating. You have the right to remain silent. But the evidence speaks volumes. Agents photograph everything. The cash, the hard drive, the ledger, the passports. 4 different identities. 4 different names. All with her face. 1 passport is Somali. 1 is Turkish. 1 is Kenyan. 1 is Canadian. This wasn't a woman with dual citizenship. This was a woman with escape routes. In the desk drawer, agents find burner phones. 12 of them, each registered to a fake name. Call logs show communications with numbers in Mogadishu, Nairobi, and Dubai. But the most damning evidence is found in a locked filing cabinet beside the window. Inside are printed case files. Not digital, physical paper. Each file corresponds to a case in her ledger. Each file has handwritten notes in the margins. Approve, fast track, dismiss charges, ignore red flags. Every note is in her handwriting. Every signature is hers. This wasn't plausible deniability. This was a confession in ink. Simultaneously, Bravo Team breaches her Edina mansion. The home is massive, 8,400 square feet, 6 bedrooms, indoor pool, wine cellar, security cameras on every corner. Agents move through the house room by room. The master bedroom is empty. The guest rooms are clear. The basement is locked. Tactical officers force the door. Inside, they find a server room. Industrial-grade equipment. Blinking lights. Cooling fans humming. This wasn't a home office. This was a data center. Forensic technicians begin downloading files. The server contains backups of everything. Emails, financial records, encrypted communications, video footage. But the most disturbing discovery is in the garage. Parked beside her Mercedes and Range Rover is a white cargo van. No windows. Reinforced rear doors. Commercial-grade suspension. Agents open the back. Inside, they find restraints bolted to the floor. Plastic sheeting. Bleach. Duct tape. This wasn't a personal vehicle. This was a transport vehicle. Type yes if you're ready to see how deep this nightmare goes. Charlie Team hits the lake house at 4:11 a.m. The property is remote, surrounded by 40 acres of forest. No neighbors. No witnesses. The front door is unlocked. Inside, the house is eerily clean. Too clean. No dust. No fingerprints. No personal items. But in the master bedroom, agents find a wall safe behind a landscape painting. The safe is high-end, military-grade steel. Biometric lock. It takes technicians 18 minutes to crack it. When the door swings open, they find something that changes everything. Stacks of documents. Citizenship papers. Social security cards. Birth certificates. All freshly printed. All blank except for official seals. Forged documents. hundreds of them. Judge Mahad wasn't just approving fraudulent cases. She was providing the infrastructure to create entirely new identities. This wasn't corruption. This was an assembly line. Beside the documents, agents find USB drives. Dozens of them, each labeled with initials and dates. Forensic analysis would later reveal the drives contained personal information on 1,847 individuals. Names, photos, addresses, family members, employers. These weren't clients. These were targets. People who had cooperated with law enforcement. Witnesses who testified against traffickers. Informants who helped federal investigations. Judge Mahad had been collecting intelligence on people who threatened her network, and she was sharing it with the organizations she protected. At least 14 of those individuals were later found dead. The evidence was overwhelming, but the FBI wasn't done. Over the next 72 hours, Operation Broken Trust expanded. Agents executed 23 additional warrants across Minnesota, Michigan, Arizona, and Florida. They targeted everyone in Judge Mahad's network. Court clerks who falsified documents, border agents who ignored red flags, lawyers who filed fraudulent applications. The arrests came in waves. Clerk Sarah Osman approved 340 fraudulent immigration filings, paid $420,000 over 4 years. Attorney David Chun filed false asylum claims for 280 clients, received $1.8 million in kickbacks. ICE officer Miguel Herrera ignored deportation orders for 190 individuals, paid $650,000 in cash. Every name in the ledger, every person in the network, all arrested within 96 hours. The final count was staggering: 82 arrests, $27.4 million seized in cash and assets, 1,847 fraudulent immigration cases under review. But the human cost was incalculable. Comment justice below if you believe every single person involved should face life in prison. The evidence was too strong to fight. Judge Mahad's legal team tried. They filed motions. They claimed entrapment. They argued technicalities. The federal prosecutors buried them in facts. They presented the ledger, the cash, the passports, the server data, the forged documents, the encrypted communications. They showed the jury photographs of Judge Mahad dining with known traffickers in Mogadishu. They played recordings of phone calls where she discussed payments. They traced wire transfers from her offshore accounts directly to her personal checking account. The defense had nothing. On November 14, 2026, after 11 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a verdict. Guilty on 68 federal counts: racketeering, money laundering, conspiracy to commit fraud, obstruction of justice, conspiracy to commit murder. The courtroom was silent. Judge Mahad showed no emotion. She stared straight ahead, expressionless, empty. The sentencing hearing was held 3 weeks later. Federal Judge Anthony Rivera presided. His statement was brief but devastating. "You were entrusted with the highest responsibility in our justice system. You swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, to protect the innocent, to punish the guilty. Instead, you sold that oath. You sold your integrity. You sold your country. You turned the courtroom into a marketplace. You turned justice into a commodity. And in doing so, you betrayed every principle this nation was founded upon. There is no punishment severe enough for what you have done, but the law provides what it can." Judge Layla Mahad was sentenced to life in federal prison without the possibility of parole. Court clerk Sarah Osman received 17 years. Attorney David Chun received 22 years. ICE officer Miguel Herrera received 19 years. The system was purged. The network was dismantled. The pipeline was shut down. But the damage was already done. Federal investigators are still tracking individuals Judge Mahad approved. Some have vanished entirely. Others have been arrested in connection with violent crimes. A few have been linked to terrorism investigations. The 1,847 names on those USB drives represent 1,847 potential threats. And the FBI is still hunting them. Operation Broken Trust proved something terrifying. The corruption didn't just exist at the border. It existed in the courtroom, in the chamber where justice is supposed to be blind. If a federal judge can be bought, what does that say about the system? If the person wearing the robe can be corrupted, who can we trust? Hit like if you believe justice is worth fighting for, even when the fight is against those sworn to protect it. The investigation revealed something else too. Judge Mahad didn't act alone. Agents found evidence linking her to 3 other federal judges, 2 district attorneys, and 1 sitting U.S. congressman. Those investigations are ongoing. Names have not been released. But the FBI is watching. This case wasn't an anomaly. It was a symptom. For years, criminal organizations have been infiltrating American institutions. Not with violence, not with force, with money, with influence, with patience. They identify the gatekeepers, the people who control access, the people who make decisions, and they buy them. Judges, prosecutors, border agents, politicians, anyone with power, anyone willing to sell it. And once they own the gatekeepers, they own the system. Judge Mahad's case exposed the blueprint. Other cases will follow. Other arrests will come. The fight is far from over. Share this video so more people understand how deep the corruption runs. The question now is simple. How many more are out there? How many judges are signing orders they shouldn't sign? How many prosecutors are dismissing cases they shouldn't dismiss? How many officials are looking the other way while criminals walk free? The FBI believes Judge Mahad's network is one of at least 7 similar operations currently active in the United States. 7 networks, 7 pipelines, 7 corrupt systems operating in plain sight. And if 7 are known, how many are still hidden? This isn't just about one judge. This is about the integrity of the entire justice system. This is about whether we can trust the people we put in power. Because if we can't trust the judges, the system collapses. If the courtroom becomes a marketplace, justice becomes meaningless. Operation Broken Trust was a victory, but it was also a warning. The enemy isn't just at the border. The enemy is in the building, wearing the robe, sitting on the bench, making decisions that shape lives. And until every corrupt official is exposed, until every bought judge is removed, the fight continues. Subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of this investigation. We are tracking the other names found in Judge Mahad's network. And when the next arrests happen, you'll be the first to know. This story isn't over. It's just beginning. If you believe corruption at this level deserves the maximum penalty, comment maximum penalty below. Let your voice be heard. Judge Layla Mahad is in federal prison, but her legacy remains. The 1,847 individuals she helped enter the country are still out there. Some are in Minneapolis, some are in Detroit, some are in Phoenix, some are in Seattle, and federal agents are hunting them one by one. The war against corruption is long. It's exhausting, it's frustrating, but it's necessary, because if we don't fight, the system dies. And if the system dies, everything else collapses with it. Operation Broken Trust proved that no one is untouchable. Not judges, not politicians, not anyone. The law is still stronger. Justice is still possible, but only if we demand it. Hit like, comment your thoughts, share this story, and stay vigilant. Because the next case is already unfolding. The next corrupt official is already making decisions. The next pipeline is already operating, and the only way to stop it is to expose it. This is only the beginning.